So today, this is our monthly lecture of Lee's BCI that represent moon culture on Chinese theater stage. So today we welcome our distinguished friends and from China who join us online remotely, the Quirky Moth Theatre. The theatre is a company in Beijing, was officially established in 2019. It was still young, but it's determined to combine the modern narrative techniques with traditional Chinese stage art forms to meet the demands of contemporary people. So before the establishment of Quirky Moth Theatre, they had already created and arranged a lot of different drama and theaters already. So we have today the speaker, Joy Liang, who is the theater department executive of Quirky Moth Theatre, graduated from the Central University of Finance and Economics, major in culture industry management, stage supervisor of the Western Bell, and also being as a project organizer of the workshop Reader Theatre and What is the Chinoiserie. So thank you. Let's welcome Joy Liang. Well, before we study the speech from Joy, I really want to express the BCI's condolences to the death of Her Majesty. We are really sorry about this. Well, hopefully we will all commemorate her goodness and her great contribution to the UK country. So now I will give the floor to Joy, and Joy, please start your speech.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, thank you very much for invitation. And I am very honored to be invited to in this meeting and share our traditional Chinese culture and opera with you here and discuss it with you. So let me start. As it appears on the screen, we give a title to today's sharing meeting. In China, it's called 千里共婵娟. This name comes from a sentence in the ancient Chinese poem. It means people who are thousands miles away apart can look up and see the same moon, and we can meet everybody at the moon. Okay, so I'll make a brief introduction for ourselves. We are Quirky Moth Theatre from Beijing, China. And since we built up our crew, we have tried to integrate the elements of traditional Chinese drama with the modern narrative techniques to bring more new and lasting stage plays to the audience. So at present, we have a number of plays in the process of commercial performance, and we hope to meet you in the theater in one day. Okay, let's get started about the moon. I believe that you guys have heard of the Mid-Autumn Festival, right? And then you must know there is one thing you have to mention about when it comes to this festival. That is the moon, right? Actually, the origin of the Mid-Autumn Festival is the day when emperors worship the moon goddess. Therefore, some activity like people eat the moon cake, enjoy the moon scenery, these traditions are all related to the full moon. So why the ancestor chose this day for worship? Because on this day, the moon is the brightest, roundest, and the largest day of the year. So we call it specifically a full moon, 满月. In China, the intention of full moon is a great significance. Like Chinese people like full moon very much because its perfect shape reminds people of many perfect states, like the reunion and consummation. And also here is an idiom in China called 天狗食月, which means that there's a dog in the sky because he bites the full moon, formed the lunar eclipses. So in order to save the perfect form of the moon, people have to knock on the devices and make some noise to frighten that dog and save the full moon. Although now we understand the cause of the lunar eclipse, and it's just natural phenomenon. But we can see from this illusion how much people value and cherish the perfect shape of the moon at that time. So gradually, because of its good meaning of the symbol of the full moon, it has been more widely used, especially in the traditional stage, like the full moon image used in a technical presentation that when we want to show the fight between two groups of people or just two people in a traditional operas, actors need to show a state of circling. This circling to each other and swing their weapons to show how sensitive of this war are, rather than going straight to each other. But there's something wrong about this video clips. Okay. Then in outfit, we also mentioned about the full moon. We can look at this picture. This a traditional arch door in the Chinese garden. And you can look this outline. It's just like a half of full moon. And we give it an elegant name. We call it 月亮门. In English is the moon gate. So similarly in the stage performance, because the shape of the male actor's forehead is similar to that mentioned above. So we also give this outfit the same name, 月亮门, the moon gate. Okay. So this form of performance remain the stage beauty with Chinese culture characteristics by using moon image, and also moon image brings some fixed symbols to this field as well. And now I'd like to talk about the connotation that the image of the moon carried in the play. So in the history of Chinese drama, the connotation of the moon image also has an evolution. I thoroughly divided the process into 3 stages. Like the first one is the pre-Qin drama, and ancient drama, and the modern drama. So let's quickly jump into the first stage in detail. So in the pre-Qin drama, when we talk about the Mid-Autumn Festival, we know that it's a day when ancient emperors offered sacrifices to the moon goddess. Like they would go to the temple and give greetings facing the goddess portrait. And dancing and singing were common forms of greeting, and which also the origin of the theoretical arts. Like in ancient Chinese classics, such as the Book of Odes, Song of the Chu, and like other books, they are relevant words to describe the appeal, the worship of the moon and the sun, which the planets can shine on the earth and can bring the alternation of day and night and the changes of the 4 seasons. So the people give the worship to those planets and also to the goddess of the sun and the moon. So here we can watch a dance performance video. This dance vividly restores people's reverence for the moon and the meaning of worship in ancient times. This performance called the Moonlight. You see the moon, the middle of the screen. And there is a dance actress. You see her movements. This represents the growth of land and all of life. It shows the growth. On to the next part. You see those pulse, it's just like a heartbeat of a life. Like the moon gives them a new life. Or overwhelmed and want to hold it up. Okay. So you can see many symbolistic ways that the actress to show their worship to the moon goddess. And this is also the Asian China who gives some worship to the moon goddess. That's the same. So at that time, moon exists as an god in the play, and it's a ritualistic, but not just like actors or important part in the play. It's just a god, like didn't join into this play acting. But in the Asian drama, the moon's function was changed. With the development of era, we're coming to the period of unified destiny. And the art of traditional opera at this time occupies this as an important part in the Asian drama. And also the impression of the moon has more diversified extension. Like the image of the moon plays a role in providing aesthetic in the whole play. Like I give you two important parts that how the moon are joined into the presentation of the Asian drama. Like the first one is the moon. Also, I compare the moon and moon goddess to a bright beauty. This is the first functions of the moon in the Asian drama. Like writers often compares the moon or the moon goddess to a bright beauty. And here I give you two examples to show how they are present in the work. Like the first clip comes from the drama, The Drunken Beauty. It is a monologue from the protagonist Yang Yuhuan, who is an emperor concubine of Emperor Tang Ming. It takes place in a sense like Yang Yuhuan obeyed our Emperor Tang Ming's order to wait on him with dinner. But Emperor Tang Ming turned to another palace So Yang was out of flavor and distressed. So they forget worries by get drunk and express her emotion to the moon. This is a monologue. We can take a look about his lyrics. So you can see the lyrics at last. She said, 奴似嫦娥离月宫，好疑似嫦娥下九重. In this sentence, Yang Yuhuan here compares herself to the moon goddess Chang'e. It shows he used those correspondence to express her beauty and fancy. However, like the fairy on the moon, she stay here alone. No one cares and appreciates her beauty. Yeah, she wants to express that by this sentence. And the next example is a play called The West Chamber. This traditional opera tells the story of the romantic love between Zhang Sheng and Cui Yingying. We can call Mr. Zhang and Miss Cui. When the Mr. Zhang went for a walk in the back garden in a beautiful night, he happened to meet Cui Yingying, who came to worship the god in the garden. So he fell in love with her immediately, and he cannot help but rewrite a poem to appreciate this beautiful girl. Here is Miss Liang, and she's so peaceful and quickly hide behind the rock. Here is Miss Liang. Mistress Little Mad. And this little man and Miss Sweet play in the garden. The mother tell them. And actually the girl who are not married in the ancient times, it's not appropriate to make the man who is out of this family. So here there's a little anger and panic. The moon goddess come back to her palace. And there's nothing but the willow. So he cannot help to because he was keeping her eyes constantly. In his lyrics, he said, there's a feeling that 月色融融夜，花音寂寂春，如何林浩阔，不见月中人。Here, Zhang Sheng just compares the Miss Sui to the moon goddess to show how beautiful she are, and I can't miss her. So we can see the moon and moon goddess usually appear in the words of the character who to appreciate very beautiful girls or just a beautiful woman, and no matter describe themselves or to appreciate other people. So, but let's carefully look at this sentence. We can see there also has a description about the scenery that used the moon, right? He said, I was surrounded by the gentle moonlight. So this can lead to the second use of the moon in opera, is to construct a specific space. It can be a romantic or a reunion or a lonely space. So of course, the moon itself is a part of the scenery. So it can be used as a creator of the atmosphere. Like in ancient drama, the scenery and the mood of characters always echo to each other. This is a common technique for playwriters. When the characters in the play were in a different emotional state, the description of the moon will also change. So here we can look at two opposite examples, which comes from the same play. It's called the Palace of Eternal Youth. The play is also based on the story of Emperor Tang Ming and Yang Yuhuan. But in this work, the writer obviously pays more attention to describe the love between these two people. So in the first play, in the first clip, is an expression of a negative emotion. It shows that the Emperor Tang Ming, because of some political reasons, he had to kill his love. And after he did that, he was literally depressed and discouraged. So in the state of that, he described the moon like this way. So how coldness and lonely this garden are. You see the color of his clothes, of his costume. It also shows up a cold feelings. I want to express the moonlight was like cold and the atmosphere is lonely. And there is lyrics. Okay. We can explain the lyrics. That the last sentence, he said, 这月啊，霜斑白，雪样皑，照不到冷坟台，好伤怀。Like we can see those words he used, like the pile, the frost, snow, cold gray, and you can have this feeling that how cold and lonely these words are. And the moon and the moonlight appears at this time to bring scenery like more sad and more painful. This is a part of expressing the lonely and sad space. And also the moon can express a romantic and reunion atmosphere. This comes from the same drama. It is happy ending, and at last the emperor meets the young one in the heaven. So we can see the last part of this. Okay. Ooh. Are you something wrong? Yeah. This is a heaven, and the emperor Tang comes to here.
一道线条从后显去。
Find her love. In the story, this day that Emperor comes to heaven is the Mid-Autumn Festival.
我那妃子在哪里呀？上官妃子，上官妃子，在哪里？是在哪里？妃子在哪里？
You can see the circling. Find each other. The nations are lost. Okay. Yes, at last they meet each other as two immortals and also happily live together in the heaven forever. So they sing this song like 会良宵，人并圆，照良宵，月也圆. So the moon just like witness of this reunion. It's bright and perfect, also represent the happy ending of this story. And so as you can see of these two clips, the description of the moon is very different because it's totally depends on the plot, that what kinds of emotion the plot needs to convey. Then the moon can change to any other emotions. So let's move on to the next period. And the next period comes to the modern drama. Like after entering modern generation, the image of the moon on the stage gradually changed from describing the scenery outward to describing the human nature inward. The moon is not a label at this time, only for a beautiful female anymore, but it can represent every individual who have a unique soul. So here is a Chinese modern drama. It names I Am a Moon, 我是月亮. It explores the relationship between the people. It's through 5 characters, warm stories about growing up. Those people are totally different. Like, for example, a mild Elliot who was falling in love with an AV actress, or a genius girl who is ridiculous for her obesity, and or a pop star who cannot came out publicly, and more fantastic people. And this play compares the characters to the moon. The director says the moon looks glorious, but not polished. So every time one more person leaves a trace from your life, you are like a moon with one more crackers. So the director of this play, he wants to show that the moon was destined to be lonely, just like we were. But because of that, we need each other. We need to heed to each other. So only by learn to accept and love yourself can you be your own unique moon, or even someone else's moon, and shine on people. This is very objective expressions. So, but another, it's like a totally different functions of the moon. And like we said before, that the Asian dramas, the moon can often create a unique atmosphere. And in modern drama, the moon can not only describe like outside atmosphere, but also reflect the inner feelings of the protagonist. And here is a play called 金锁记, Golden Lock Notes. This opera, this drama, the overall tone, its overall tone is very gloomy. And reviews some dark period in Chinese society during the 20th century. And the play describes a young girl, how her fresh and vivid life was gradually dying out in a big family. So at the beginning of the show, here is a long monologue, like this. They write about the same members of the family looking at the same moon after and before the 30 years. The description of the moon, like from the light, bigger, brighter, and very much a full moon, to at last during it. So it's not a change of the moon. It just reflects the change of characters inside. His heart was changed. So he saw a different type of the moons over the past 30 years. And it's totally the reflection of their inside feelings towards this world. And the mood is completely different during the years. So the moon they see is 2 completely different states as well. So now we talk about this timeline of the moon and the stage. And we can see that the moon tend to express different priorities in different periods. Like actually, no matter which period, the moon's connotation is being gradually enriched in the process of the evolution. So we are trying to keep all this connotation in the nowadays drama, and avoid only expression one types of connotation expression. So we hope to integrate and innovate all the excellent meaning to form a new system or a new form of expression. And our company has also worked hard in this area. So I think we can now be very proud to say that we have achieved a small goal. So I want to introduce to you an original drama of our company that we think it can achieve this innovation in some ways. Like this drama names The Homecoming of the Sword. And luckily, this theme is a strong relationship with the intention of the moon that we are talking about today. So I think it is a good opportunity to introduce for you guys, and also to use this work to take you back to what we said about. So I'll give a brief introduction of this play. This play's protagonist is called Kong Xinqi. He is a messenger. And after a narrow escape, Kong gained the ability to travel back and forth to the heaven and earth by chance. So after some ideological struggle, he started to use this ability to helping people who have gone to hell and to send their letter to the living and complete their last wishes. So in this processing of this performance, we use two moons on the stage, one black and one white. You see in this picture, the two moons can represent many relative positions, like not only represent the objective existence of hell and earth, but also represent the sadness and the joy in the subjective emotion, and or reflect the beauty and the kindness of human nature. So there is a 3 clips to show you how they works in the drama. We can see it one by one. And this clip takes place when Kong narrowly escaped death and returned to the earth from the hell. And he was able to come back from the death because there was a general named Zhong Si, we call it Mr. Zhong. Mr. Zhong gave his life to exchange for Kong's life, only because the general wanted Kong to give his letter to her wife, to his wife, and his wife was driven to a very far country because of the war. And Zhong was a wounded soldier, so he was no longer can support him to go so far away and to see his wife. So he had to ask the messenger Kong. Kong claimed to know that the way to deliver the message for him. So we will see this clip that is after Kong returned to the earth world. And here is an ideological struggle over whether or not to fulfill Zhong Si's promise and to deliver his letter to his wife.
我又活了，我又活了。
Here is that letter.
钟思义，多谢了。可君爷，您不该信我呀！这兵荒马乱的，我孔进期向来是满口胡言。什么闭着眼就能找到桥中的话，那都是骗鬼呢。
Chao is where his wife.
我这好不容易活了下来，我怎能为了一封信赴汤蹈火，奔波千里呀？君爷，对不住了，恩公，请其兄。
Zhong's voice.
爱上公平
Remember
无穷。
dreams. Very strong.
我终归是欠了你一条命，算了，这条命就用这信来还吧。于是我一路向南，奔向乔州。
Yeah, you can see this clip. There is two moon. One is black and one is white. It totally represents the good and the evil thoughts, because he was struggle between these two thoughts, and finally he decided to obey his duty and obey his promise and send this letter to his wife. Right, and the next clip is the end of the story of that soldier and his wife. So we can see that the Kong keep his promise and send a letter to his wife, and Zhongxi also got the opportunity to communicate with his wife. Although they are still separated by death, but they can be they can meet each other because of those letters, and we can see this moment.
此乃望乡台，但凡死者皆在此处看往生前牵挂之人最后一眼，然后喝孟婆汤，过奈何桥，忘记一切，往生去也。去吧，时间不多，这是最后一眼哦。
This is
余生前之人有约，若战死沙场，
now.
则作归，不得投胎。我不愿往生。 云娘。
Wife probably. And they meet each other in this special place because of this letter. Of happy, joy, but also have some sorrow and sad. This time, these two moon on the stages represent any emotions between those two people, maybe the joy or the sorrow. Okay. The last video clip is about Hong death. After being a messenger for our whole life, finally, this is a time that Kong's death was coming, and her personally came to the door of death, and there is two gods standing in front of him, and you can see there's a black one and a white one. 这个 will stand under the moon and you can feel the demo with the end.
我看看，不是已经，我怎么又醒了？
什么？你不信这阴曹地府？难道还要我背你过去？
请问你是？
吾乃黑无常，时辰已到，你气数已尽，跟我走一趟吧。
去哪儿啊？
这是地府根据你此生的行径给你的判词，是上天还是入地，一看便知。
罪大恶极，有道理，有道理。那我随你
入地府。
站住！
怎么又是你？
我还想问你呢，你们这是干什么去啊？这是？
你管得着吗你？
怎么管不着？
你管得着吗？
哎，怎么管不着？就管你，就管你了。哎，请问您是？吾乃白无常，受上头指派，据你此生行径，送你上天体。
不，我
菩萨心肠。也对，也对。这位菩萨，随我上天庭去。过来。
Yeah, as you can see, the black is the god who leads the villains to the hell, and the god in the white is the fireman who leading the good man to heaven. So you can see these two gods start to dispute over whether Kong is a good person or a bad guy. Should he go to the heaven or go to the hell? So this time, these two moons represent the earth and heaven, but just like the moon is not only limited to be a gold or be a black, be a full or just be a non-thing, and it have various states. So people are also complex, just like as us, the Kong has not defined as a good man or a bad man. He just like a unique sword. So actually, he become a new man again, not instead of come to the heaven to be a god or come to the hell to be a demon. So Kong also have a lyrics. He said, 钱财皆乃身外物，皮囊不过肉杯盏。境遇浮沉终成幻，不过是人间走一圈。This lyrics just represent like the moon has the various states, and the people and the life also have various definition, not only just a good or a bad. So all of us need to cherish our life and cherish our lifestyle. So I think this is the end of my presentation. And today we find some moon images, how they presented in the stage, whatever in the pre-Qing drama or in Chinese Asian drama or nowadays the modern drama. And I hope this knowledge can help you to enjoy the Chinese drama in some days. So that's the end of the presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Joy. Can we move to the next slide, please? Yes. So thank you everyone for coming. So before we are going to live, there are several questions that are coming from the attendees. So one of our attendees asked you a question, Joy. So she said, thank you for the lovely presentation. And do you, for anyone, know a YouTube or Bilibili or alternative web links where one can stream this performance from outside of China? So is there any kind of like, I think it's any kind of like website that people can stream those performances from outside China?
I see that you mentioned about Bilibili, right? If you can upload the Bilibili and you can just search the keywords about the Chinese drama or 戏剧, you know that word, and you can see a lot of videos and the streams about the traditional techniques.
Thank you. Thank you. So another question. So I know that especially in the last production, which is by your own, it's very fabulous. So may I know that when did you produce that kind of play? I mean, the last one I think is 魂归处. When did you produce that?
Frankly speaking, that this drama is produced by our boss, our boss of our company, and he was graduate from the college, which is specifically learned the traditional Chinese opera. So you can see in this play, in this work, there are a lot of elements about the traditional Chinese opera and the construction following the traditional Chinese opera. So maybe I think he and my boss, he just want to express her ideas and her inspirations in this play. And also we produced a lot of plays in the structure of the original Chinese traditional opera, like the Western Belle and the other plays, and you can see it if you want. Yeah.
So if any one of us going to Beijing, so we will get a chance to see some kind of productions that are done by your company. So that is very good chance. So thank you, Joy. Thank you for coming to giving this fabulous speech to us. And on our screen, some of you maybe know, this is a QR code for a feedback. So we would be really happy if you can give us any feedback for the speech and share the result with Joy. And also we are using those data to improve our future event organization. So thank you everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you, Joy, for sharing the speech again. So thank you, and hopefully in the next month in October, BCI is going to launch this new academic year, and it will be the 10th anniversary of BCI, of University of Leeds. So we will welcome you and hopefully to see you all in the future. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.